I could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit cause the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them things across the border. Your man on trial, but you won't go get him a lawyer. What's up with that? You poppin' bottles, you getting fly, but you don't send commissary to niggas that's inside. See, we don't coincide, we don't live by the same rules. And we done got hungry, these lanes became full. Real niggas in my corner, you know that I can't lose. And I can't go to jail for a body they can't prove. Got niggas in the fence, they never coming home. Can't never see they daughter, only talking through a phone. And you know we screaming free you forever. Treat your kids like they mine. Wait your turn, real nigga. You get rich in due time. I feel like Nino when he first opened the Carter. Check me out. I feel like Tony when him and Sosa became partners. Check me out. Bring me out crab legs and grilled shrimp for starters. Filet me young for my main meal. I'm a mobster. Ruger rap. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out.
Man, I'm back, man. I am back. I was away for a while. Man. I'm in this strenuous workout thing, and man, it been getting a lot out of me. Plus another project that I'm working on that's really important, which I will share here when everything come together like butt cheeks. But I'm back, man. Got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on. I'm not gonna be with y'all long today, because I got a live that I was supposed to do a part 2 of, and I never got a chance to do it. And part 1 is on my page in the live section, and so this part 2, because if you know the schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live stream. Tuesday and Wednesday is BodyCam. The BodyCam show I do. But we back, man. We back in full effect. We got 6 more months. And I will have 100,000 subscribers before this year is up. God willing. And we back, man. So let's get into it. But before I finish that live, I want to speak on a few things that we all see in the news, trending topics. You know, and I'll start with the Carmelo Anthony situation. You know, this situation is getting real ugly. Everything has come to a head at this point, is in court. This is, I think, week 2 of the trial. And, you know, we as Black people, soon as we come out the womb and we understand words, we're being told by, in some cases, our parents, grandparents, at these scholastic institutions, all the way from elementary to formal, that because you're Black, you're a victim. The white man is against you. You're going to have to work harder in this world than anybody else because you're Black. The white man is against you, and all of this nonsense. And how America is a white man's country is actually not. It's a strategic man's country. But I digress on that. And so because of that, anytime a situation happens where it's a Black and white person, no matter how wrong or right the Black person is, Black people tend to get on that side for the most part. Not everybody. They got Black people such as myself who see things from a righteous standpoint, from a wisdom standpoint. And like I say, this whole situation is tragic. If you know me, this hit kind of close to home for me. 2 lives or forever, 2 families or forever change because of this. Sometimes I sit down and I ponder thinking about Carmelo and I say to myself, what was he thinking? And then, you got to think back. We was all 17 before. And these 17-year-olds now are different than us. They're a little bit more rowdy than us. And I'm going to get into why, but you sit back and you say, what was he thinking? Come up in a 2-parent household, promising sports career. Also, he had good grades. I believe he's attending college as we speak. That was what I heard. I don't know. I didn't verify, but he was supposed to be allegedly attending Morehouse College in Atlanta. But I often think and I say, what was this young man thinking for him to take that to where he took it to? We all been, like I said, we've all been 17 before. We've been to these quote unquote jamborees, track meets, and whether we was going because we were participants, going to support somebody we love, or just going there just as a day to go out and have fun. We've been there. We know how these events look. And in this type of in his particular situation, I guess his school didn't have a tent, and the Austin Metcalf kids did. Austin Metcalf, Black coach, testified on the stand that he put Austin in charge. So, Carmelo went over there to sit down to duck the rain. Allegedly, this is the story. And, Carmelo asked him, Mr. Metcalf asked him to leave. Now, we can play games. We can, we can take that situation and make it out whatever we want to make it. But we all know, especially as Black young men. And again, I'm coming from a righteous perspective. This is not a Black thing with me. It's never a Black thing with me. It's always a God thing. And what I mean by a God thing, I'm leaning toward righteous. I don't care if it go against what Black people think or not. I'm leaning toward what's righteous. And as a young Black man at 17, I understand that if I was going into another person's area because I was trying to get away from the rain or whatever, I was just trying to go over there to holler at a girl, whatever the situation is, and some other kid, probably some other adult. These children don't even really have respect for adults these days, but for sure, my equal, another kid telling me to move around, that wasn't going to sit right. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be some type. I'm telling you, as a 17-year-old. And I know how that would have went. And I got an idea how it went with Mr. Carmelo and Mr. Austin Metcalf. And it just turned out bad for both of them, really bad for the Metcalf, because he lost his life and allegedly died in his twin brother's arm. And, it's just a sad and unfortunate situation that it had to be that way. And I know every day Carmelo sit in his room and think about, man, I should have just left. But he made a decision, man. And this decision is going to forever change it. Matter of fact, not gone, it has already forever. And that's before the verdict. It has already changed 2 families for life. But what my issue is, it has become a race thing. It's not a race thing. Mr. Carmelo, as a 17-year-old child, made a mistake. And he have to pay for that mistake. Now, let's get into what should he get. I understand people's frustration. And see, these type of situations, what they do is people say that they bring the racism out of white people. That's not the truth. But what happens is because white people have basically been I'm trying to find a word for it, a pinata for the last 20 years or more. But I'm gonna say that since Barack Obama came in office, it has just been open season for white people. You can talk about them, say whatever you want to say about them, but if they fight back, they're canceled, they're fired, and we see it all the time. Right here, I see sometimes just on my hometown have a news channel. You'll go on the news channel and they'll have a situation and it's a black person who got in a situation and all the white people have something to say. These people take these people picture, go bring it to their job, get them fired, all kind of stuff. But the same thing happens when it's a white person. And all the black people get in the comments and it's unbalanced scales. And God is against that. It's no such thing. And a lot of people gonna leave this earth, unfortunately. And that spot, and like I said, I got a video on my channel about that specifically. I created it about 4 years ago, and it's about having a spot. Listen, man, the Bible say the righteous is barely gonna get in heaven. The righteous. So especially just think about somebody who not righteous, who holding unforgiveness in their heart, and you meet people and older people, and like, listen, man, if you 60 plus and you was born in the 60s or the 50s, I don't know your life story. I don't know what you went through, but you got to get rid of that. And you passing this racism down. But if you was born after 1980, no racism had effect on your life. You might have met a white person that didn't like you because you was black, maybe so. I can't say your life. But for this systematically, if you was born after 1980, racism doesn't affect you in any form of fashion. So this just hate for all white people, especially it comes out from black people too. Like people say situations like this will bring out the racism in white people, but it brings it out in black people. And both of these things begin to get very dangerous. You got people outside the courthouse, and you got black people talking about a dead cracker is a good cracker, and you got the white people, because white people has been emboldened over the years because it's like, hey man, some of these white people, especially the conservative ones, listen, they'll be the first ones to help a black man if he on the right force. I mean, if he got the right mindset. Everybody all my white friends, most of them, I would say 8 out of 9, maybe. I think I got one white homeboy that's a liberal, and he not even a liberal. He kind of like a moderate. You feel me? But other than that, all my homeboys is conservative, and they have helped me. And so I tell people all the time that the white conservative are our only ally. The white liberal is not. The white liberal pats you on your back and tells you that nonsense is okay, and he feeds into that narrative that you're a victim, and that's disrespectful. That's racism. But I digress on that. But again, these situations bring out the racism in both sides, and it shouldn't, because this is a right and wrong situation. Nowhere in America, nowhere. I don't know about outside of America because I haven't been. But nowhere in America, nowhere can somebody approach you in your space. What I mean by your space, I'm not talking about your car, your home. But I'm saying if you're walking in the mall, right, and because they got cameras everywhere now. When you walking in the mall, public place, right, and somebody approach you, right, and get in your space, you can punch them in the mouth. The people with you, y'all can jump that person. If that person kill you, that person murdered you. That person murdered you. That person is in the wrong because I don't care what happened. Oh man, there's something over. You don't know what? Listen, I'm speaking from a law perspective. I'm not speaking on just, okay, this how it happened. I caught him and woo, this happened. He said, I'm talking about from a law perspective, a court of law, a jury, a judge, and inside of a courtroom. If somebody approach you in your personal space, whatever happened to them, doesn't matter. If you kill that person after going into their space, you kill that person. It's not a self-defense. It's no self-defense there, right? But again, he's a 17-year-old kid when this took place. And Austin Metcalf family is already ruined. Why ruin 2 families and give Carmelo life? I don't think he should get life. In Texas, manslaughter holds 2 to 20. And that's what that was. That's a manslaughter charge. A manslaughter charge is when you intend to hurt somebody in the heat of the moment, but they end up dying, right? And that's what happened. I know he didn't think he was going to kill him. He didn't want to kill him. He probably was just like, man, because Carmelo's a little thin guy. Austin Metcalf was a top linebacker, so he probably had the size on him. So I don't know, the tussle, how it happened. And he probably was just like, man, he probably was just trying to hit him in the shoulder. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he hit him in the heart. I don't think he wanted to kill him. I just don't believe that. I don't know. I wasn't there. But and he killed the young man, and it's a heat of the moment. But throwing his life away for something he did at 17, I mean, people can come on here, the so-called black conservatives, the people who the white whoever, and say what they want to say about that. But if that was your child who made that mistake at 17, you wouldn't want him to get his life in. You know what I'm saying? This man should not have to just give his, because Austin Metcalf's family, it's so sad for this family. You know what I'm saying? My heart goes out to this family that they life has changed forever. This was this man, twin, identical twin. You know what I'm saying? This man will never be the same. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't think they should throw Carmelo away for that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think, like I said, I think they should give him a manslaughter charge. Like I say in Texas, manslaughter hold 2 to 10. And I say give him 10 years, man. Let him go sit down for 10 years and, get his degree in prison. And, it is what it is, man. He made a mistake. And in life, you have to pay for your mistakes. Sometimes your mistake can affect your whole life. Sometimes your mistakes is small. You pay for it and keep moving in life. But in life, when you make mistakes like that, somebody lose their life. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So if I was the judge in the situation, that would be my ruling. My ruling would be 10 years TDC, hard labor, manslaughter charge, and I mean, I live with that. And that's all I pretty much wanted to say on that. I just wanted to address that, and I might go more in depth in it, because what I like to do on this channel, if you've been here, I don't like to jump on stuff while it's going on. I like it till it's all finished and wrapped up, and that's when I come in. You know what I'm saying? And like Wednesday, I think the rest of the week I'm gonna be speaking on the Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter. I know it's like a week or two old. But like I said, I like to get stuff at the end when I got all the facts and I can come from my perspective. But I want to show, I'm gonna bring that situation out and what it says about our community as a whole. But that's another story. But I gotta say, it's two more topics I want to touch on in this opening. And the next topic is this. I see posts here and there. I seen one the other day, and it says no parent. I'm trying to see how I'm trying to come. Basically, the post is, it's saying like, no matter how you raise your child, they can do whatever. They gonna be who they be. I think that's a cop out. I'm gonna tell you why it's a cop out. To be fair to people who may disagree with me, to be fair, I don't have children. I will say that. I've been a stepfather, but I don't count. Then again, I ain't even gonna say that, because the only way you're a stepfather, you married. So I never was. But I've had children under me. I still mentor teenagers. But I'm gonna just say this: I don't have children. But I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna say this with my chest out. I will stand on the top of a mountain and say this. I believe this, and everything I believe, like I say, is from my wisdom, from my field reports, from my statistics, and just my experience in life. Bad children had bad parents. Good children come from good parents. Period. Are there exceptions to that rule? Absolutely. There's exceptions to every rule. But those exceptions proves the rule, right? So what do I mean when I say that, right? See, I tell people all the time, you got 3 big decisions that you make in your life. These are the 3 most important decisions that you can make, right? They're going to make your life or break your life. The number one thing is to believe in God. The day that you is born again Christian and you begin to believe in God and begin to live your life as a living sacrifice, we understand that you're going to have hiccups here. Nobody perfect. If anybody was perfect, that means Jesus died for nothing. He don't apply to them. Jesus died because nobody's perfect. I understand Matthew 5 and 48, Matthew 5 verse 48 say, be perfect as your Father in heaven, but it's hard. But being perfect for me, and I tell people is being repetitive with your repentance. Every day before you close your eyes, Lord, forgive me for everything that I've done, knowingly and unknowingly. And we know Lamentations tells us that every morning his mercies are new, right? And so every morning you got a clean slate, and that's how you got to do. You have to be in repetitive repentance, and that's how you remain perfect. But other than that, we're going to have slip-ups, whether in action or thought, right? Some of our thoughts be sins. But I digress. What I'm saying is this. That's the most important thing in your life. The second most important thing in your life, right, is who you choose or who you chosen by, if you're a woman, to be your spouse, who you marry. This is gonna make or break you. This can make you be a monster, or this can turn you into a great man or a great woman for life. This can turn you, if y'all come together under the umbrella of marriage, and it's a God centered relationship, the thing that y'all can do together for the kingdom on a small level or a big level. It's just a big thing. But the third thing that you can do that's most important in your life is choosing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take it back. Planning before you have children. So I'm gonna go back to what I said, which is a very touchy subject. Parents never agree with me when I say this. Any parent, I've never met a parent that agree with me on this, and I'm not a parent again. But good parent doesn't raise bad children. Bad parents doesn't raise good children. I'm standing on that. Again, all the exceptions, absolutely. But I don't speak on the exceptions on this channel. I speak on the rule. And the exceptions proves that rule, right? Reason why I said that number 3 in your life, when you say I'm gonna have, and this is one of the things that Black community suffers from and has been a downfall, and is still a downfall in our community, is that we bring children in the world for the wrong reasons. We bring children in the world because our family are rushing us. We bring children in the world for more income tax. We bring children in the world because I want something to love me and never leave me. We bring children in the world because we have power trips. We bring children in the world for all kind of different reasons, and we treat them as pets. See, you have a pet, like I have pets, I have cats. If it's been times in my life, not recently, but it's been time in my life where I have been so aggravated. Like I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a cat and I really loved that cat. And I had a big old screen TV, and she ended up getting behind that TV and making a move, and my whole TV fell. And I was so upset that of course, I didn't want to hurt her. I wasn't gonna hurt her, of course, and I just put her up for adoption. And it hurt me later, but I did it out of hate. I was mad, and that was just something that. But again, you can't do this with children. I mean, we know people are, but I'm saying you can't do this with children. Children are stuck with you, right? And if you put your children, you give your children up, that's gonna be on you and God when you see Him in heaven. And I understand that a lot of people have childhood trauma that pass on through generation and generation and generation. But before you have children, again, this is something that Black people have a problem with. You have to plan for this child. The number one thing is, who are you going to procreate with? This is a man and a woman thing. I understand that the woman is the one who gestates the baby when she get the seed from the man. Both of y'all need to understand, who am I bringing a child in this world with? That's number one. Number two, you need to have it already planned out, this child's environment, meaning his living, where he's going to be living, and his schooling. Because all of these things are going to shape out who he become as a human being. Again, do people take side streets and exceptions to that. Oh, he raised in a suburban area, went to the best schools and still did this. He was raised in a project, didn't have a daddy, and he still did this. We understand that. I'm speaking again on the rule. Majority of the children that you see out here today who are degenerate, who are doing degenerate activities, go look at their parents' situation. Their parents were doing that, broken homes. You know, you look and you see all of these children. And again, that's another thing. During my off time, I changed my stance. And I've been kind of changing that stance because God been kind of dealing with me on that stance from the standpoint of like, you can't really be coming at black people like too rough. You gotta show mercy and grace, like I show you. And then when you sit back and you understand that everybody got something going on. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about spiritual issues that haven't been fixed, that have rolled over, called generational curses. You don't know what's going on. And then that's why you go back to some of my videos, I used to call myself a black conservative. I no longer consider myself a black conservative. Because if you look at most of these black conservatives, you can clearly see that they never was a part of the culture. So most of you, if you look, and I don't want to start naming names, but when you look at the average black conservative, you can see they was not part of the culture. They were people who probably was picked at by the culture. And so now, because black people is low-hanging fruit, they just picking on them. See, I was a part of the culture. I'm still part of the culture. What I mean by part of it, I've dated women with these children. And I've seen how these children, I've had children tell me, I've got into it with females and things didn't work out, and their children would DM me and say, I know you and my mama don't talk no more, but can you please stay in my life? And of course I couldn't do that because that's just not how things work. But these children know that it takes two people to make them. Where's the other person? Their spirit yearns for that. The little girl, we talk a lot about how the little boy need his father, but the little girl need hers too. The little girl don't understand true love from nobody but her father. Her father is the only man who is going to love her purely just for who she is, without no strings attached. Not no man. Every man she meets in this world gonna want something. And so a lot of these little girls don't even know what love is, and they go out here and get their heart broke over and over and over and over again. They think sex is what these boys want, so they give it to them. They get pregnant, and here you go this pattern again. And so when you understand the culture, you understand these people demon that they fighting, that they have no control over childhood trauma, growing up with childhood trauma, that's not getting the proper help, and you begin to understand now. It just the reason why I used to come from a standpoint of anger with it, not so much is because I wasn't so great with it. It just make us all look bad. It just make us all look bad, and it's embarrassing. If you black, this is embarrassing. This embarrassing. Like it's like you have a child and he embarrassing you, and it's how I'm black. And I love being black. I love, the way I dress, the way I look. And it's been time where I thought, like, man, I might have to change my whole look because of what I'm perceived because of other people. And that's just not fair to me. But I understand that everything ain't supposed to be fair, but it is what it is. But I'm saying all that to say, like, you deal with these children, man, and why they always fight? Why they fight everywhere they go? Why this? Why that? And then you realize, man, I remember when I used to date this woman and she was doing everything on her own, didn't have no help from the children's father, so she had to do all these hours. She come home, she angry, she projected on the children. And then you have these children all in the same area called Section 8. And all of these children are going through the same thing, no father, they spirit yearning for the father. That creates an anger in them. The anger that's being projected on them from their mom because she's overworked and just overstressed. Women were not put here to take care of no household by themselves. That's not what they were put here to do. They were put here to be a helpmeet. That's what they were put here to do. That's it. So most of these black women are out here taking care of everything on their own. They're supposed to be, the woman period is supposed to be able to come home after a long day if she's working, or if she's a housewife. She's supposed to, at the end of the day, her husband and her are supposed to reconnect, and he's supposed to be the energy for her to plug into and recharge. And these women don't have that. They might have some Negro laying around the house or whatever, but they don't have somebody that's really there to genuinely love them to recharge their battery. So they're just an emotional mess. And they project that, they not on purpose, but they project it on the children. And then the children be angry, and then the children go around other children that's getting the same thing, and they clash over dumb stuff, just dumb stuff, right? And I would see that, and I watched this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a woman I was dating for a while, off and on, and I seen her children from like toddlers all the way to teenagers, and I seen the change. Like, these children were so sweet, so nice, so wholesome, and now they're in their teens, and they always in the, and it just, and I seen, but their mom was like this, their mom was very, you know, and it just, like I say, so when you come from the culture, you can't just be like a quote-unquote black conservative. These people are not from the culture. These people were the nerds in school. These people was, they, you know, they was they were the victims of the culture, right? And so, you know, like I said, you know, going back to, like I said, the situation, man, when you talk about children and how they're raised and how they, you know, these things can affect them. If you bring these children in the world without a father, you bring these children in the world in the wrong neighborhood, the wrong schooling, being around the wrong people, hey, that's bad parenting. And guess what? You're going to probably get a bad seed from that. Probably. You know, and it's just an unfortunate situation. And so when you hear people post it on social media and say, oh, you can do this, this is people who majority of the time their children are degenerate, or they have some degenerate children, maybe not all, but so they, what they doing is they trying to cover up their mistake. No. That's not how they go. Just go ahead and say, look, man, I had children before I was ready. I wasn't financially able to have them in the best school, the best neighborhood. I had them in the hood, the projects, and they got caught up in their life. And it's my fault. I made a mistake. Just go ahead on their face, but don't be trying to say, oh, because no, that's not how that works. For the most part, if you do everything right by your children, have them in the right neighborhood, have them going to the right schools, make sure they have a good father or a good mother, they'll be fine. And there'll be great people in this world, and there'll be successful people in this world, and there'll be people who add to the world and make black people look good versus the opposite. And before I get into this live, I want to address one more thing. I'm gonna go to Matthew 6:33. Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. You know, we live in a world today, man, where I feel sorry for you if you quote unquote doing it on your own and you ain't living, you ain't doing, you ain't letting God guide your step and direct your path. And I say, I understand different people got different levels with God. You may already be married, so you're not seeking a spouse. You're seeking a financial breakthrough. You may have money already, and you seeking a new home. You may have a home already, and you seeking this. You seeking certain things that haven't came, or they may seem prolonged. You've been praying a while, or I'm trying to see, or let's see, like for a lot of people that want to be married, right? What you have to understand about God is this: the blessings of the Lord comes with no sorrow. You know, the scripture tells us that in the scripture, I forgot exactly where it is. I know it's in the Gospels, and it says that you who are evil, if your child asks for a rock, do you give him a snake? I mean, if your child asks for a piece of bread, do you give him a rock? And you evil. So how much am I, your Father in heaven, how much better than you? Anything you ask according to my will, I give it to you. If you broke and you asking God for money, that's his will for you to have money. You can't help yourself or nobody else if you ain't got no money. The scripture also tells us in Ecclesiastes 10:19 that money is the answer to all things, right? If you somebody who's seeking a spouse, man looking for a wife, woman looking for a husband, which is you shouldn't be looking for a husband. A husband's supposed to find you. And you've been praying and you feel like, man, I'm tired of waiting on God. I'm gonna go do it my own. Or a job or anything of that matter, anything that you're praying for and it seems as though it's prolonged, right? It hasn't got to you yet. It might be years, weeks. This is what you have to understand. God don't need your help in nothing. That's why I always tell people when they do the whole faith without works is dead. In other words, that's been preached. And like I say, if you go on my channel about 4 years ago, and I'm gonna revise that message because there's some things I want to add to it. But that message has been preached wrong with no understanding, no wisdom. I'm surprised that the preachers have, that I've never actually heard a preacher preach that scripture. I believe it's in James 2:22 something about how faith without works is dead. Basically, they say it mean that when you ask God for something, He needs your help, and that's true and that's not true, but it's not true. You know what I'm saying? And the reason what I mean by that is, for example, if you all remember before I get into that, I'm gonna say what I'm saying. That's gonna all come together. Whatever it is that you praying to God for, and it seems like it hasn't came yet. This is what I want you to understand. God can do anything in your life like that. He don't need no time. He don't need he can do it like that, like just like that. Whatever it is, money, house, car, spouse, whatever it is, right? If he haven't done it again, I tell people all the time, this is a tricky thing. When you say, I'm doing it God way, Matthew 6:33 is my portion. When you're doing it the Matthew 6:33 way, it can be very tricky. It can take long. It could be overnight. But when you Matthew 6:33, and what you saying is God is in your hands. And so now you saying, okay, God, I ain't going to look for no wife no more. It's in your hands. So that wife, it might not come in 10 years. But guess what? Guess the problem with that? The issue with that is you. You is the issue. You got to begin, if it's something you've been praying for long and it hasn't come, you got to begin to self-reflect. People don't like to do that. It's very uncomfortable sometimes for people. You have to self-reflect on what is it, okay, I'm asking God for a wife, or I'm asking God for a husband. Am I ready for a husband? Am I ready to honor, obey? And I'm talking about the vows. I know they seem real tough for some women today, but I digress. I'm just reading the vows. Am I ready to every day come home and follow my husband, submit to a man? Not 50%, not 40%, but fully submit to my man, right? Cook for him if he wants every day. Am I ready for that? Because I've been single for so long, waiting on God, and I ain't really I don't cook every day because it's just me by myself or me and one of my children. So we cook every other day. I don't go to the gym that much. Might gain a few pounds, or maybe whatever. I'm speaking from a woman perspective or a man perspective. Are you ready for a woman? Are you ready to be with one woman for the rest of your life and be this woman by submitting yourself to God, right? And getting the wisdom of God and Christ and man over woman over children, leading your family, providing for your family, protecting your family. Are you ready for this? Or you just want somebody that's going to be, you can control, have sex with, and just treat any kind of way? Because see, when we asking God for stuff, this is the thing. When you asking God for stuff, as I said before, the blessings of the Lord come with no sorrow. When you get stuff from God, it's perfect. You know how people be like, nothing perfect, that's bullshit. When God sends something, it's come from God, it's perfect. So before He sends something perfect into your life, you gotta be you gotta be ready for it. Because I'm not about to send my wife into your life and you still want to cheat and do all. I'm not about to send my husband into your life. I'm talking about from God. I'm not about to send you no husband from me, for one of my children, and you misplace him, you mistreat him, you cheat on him, you treat him wrong. oh, you want some money so you can stunt. Oh, no. Because, see, the thing about it is, nobody in this world, besides yourself, God know your heart. So do you want a new car because your old car is not working? Or your old car worked perfect, you just want to upgrade? Or do you want a new car because everybody else got a new car? Do you want a new car because you want to flex and because everybody in your clique got 2015, so you want to be the only one with a 2026? You got to be honest with yourself and God about these things, because God know your heart. And you can't trick him, so you might well come clean. And if it's the husband, if it's whatever it is that you're praying for, and it hasn't came, you need to begin to self-reflect and say, what is it that I'm doing wrong? It ain't no more me waiting on God. At this point, God waiting on me to align myself with what I'm praying for. Right? And that's all I gotta say on that, man. But God don't need no help. And guess what? He know what's perfect for you, and whatever it is, job, you want a new job, a promotion, or you just want a promotion so you can get back at. No, God ain't with no foolishness, bro. God is not the author of confusion. That's the devil. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, I'm finished with that, man. So let's get into this, man. Come out these shades now, you heard me? Let's get into this. So let's go start. We're gonna finish. I don't even know where I left off. Let me see where I left off at. Damn, it's early. It's only 3:00. Let me see where I left off at. And then we'll get into it. Oh, man. I don't know when this story happened. Some of y'all probably still at work, man. Let me call. I'm about to go eat after this, man. Let me go see where we are off at. They show it to the world. They say, come, and then we'll come back and talk about more of how to fumble your bag from other players. Okay, so that's what we were. We was on Jaden, Ivey, then we're gonna finish with the Nick Cannon situation. And I got a few other things I want to cover, and we're gonna wrap this one up, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the body cam. Well, y'all won't see me. I don't do that one on camera. I do a voiceover. So let's listen to it.
Most men over 45 don't know their boots are the reason their back hurts. But
I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mr. Jason Whitlock. But I want to let him say what he's gonna say on this situation. And of course I'll chime in. So let me cut the light off and play this for you guys. His background poison him.
As a child, I just never felt love before. I never, felt true love. Felt like,
and for y'all, I know most of y'all caught up, know about this. Maybe I forgot about it. It was about 2 months ago. And like I said, I covered everything on that first episode. But Jaden Ivey situation, man, young man was playing for the Bulls, and he said something about gay people or something, went online and just, flashed out on the situation. Well, not really flashed out. He was real calm about it, real calm and timid young man. Of course, he was raised by his mama. And a lot of men who were raised by their mother, they really don't have wisdom or tact on when they handle a situation. And he just handled the situation bad. But again, by him being a Christian, him speaking out from his stand, from allegedly that he's saying it was God who told him to do that. Again, if God told him to do it, I don't care about what nobody say. You do what God tell you to do. And he took a loss for it. But again, if he did what God told him to do, God gonna give him triple what he lost. And so just to give y'all a gist of what's going on for the people who may just be tuning in, of course, you're gonna have to watch the first one because this is the last video to that series before I jumped into the Nick Cannon situation. And so I just wanted to say that. So let's continue. If you listen to Jaden Ivey describe his childhood, it really sounds dramatic. The man says he never felt love as a child. That's unbelievable. He's been poisoned. His mother was a WNBA player. We know about the sexual history and the sexual culture of the WNBA. It's degenerate. It's perverse. It's gay.
You're just trying to make sweet love. That's about it.
The man says he was sexually abused.
I definitely was sexually abused as a kid. There's some things that I, saw.
This young man has been poisoned, and this story is poison for ESPN. It's too much. It's too deep. It touches on too many different third rails. It goes at topics that ESPN thinks, hey, there's no consequences to this single mama culture. There's no consequences to the LGBTQIA plus alphabet mafia movement. That's what it's there for. It's there for you, and you okay. Well, yes, there are consequences for that sexually perverse lifestyle. Everyone gets upset when people like me quote the Bible and say God rendered this an abomination, God rendered this a sin. And then they say, well, hey, Whitlock, aren't you being hypocritical? You're overweight and gluttony. And I'm like, I'm not being hypocritical. I realize that gluttony is a sin and that there are terrible consequences to gluttony. And that's why I'll never promote gluttony. That's why I will fight it every day of my life.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much it takes and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
They justify the LGBTQIA plus silent P, minor attractive people lifestyle. And they shouldn't. It's an abomination. It's a poison. And it poisoned Jaden Ivey. And that's why ESPN afraid to even touch this topic. Why they avoided this topic all yesterday. And will continue to avoid this topic because they don't want to have a real conversation and talk about the real consequences of the lifestyle and the things that they are normalizing. They are grooming our kids and putting kids like Jaden Ivey at risk. Now it's ends. This young man was damaged as a child and has no place to turn in this very secularized NBA environment for help.
I don't really even talk about it. I know it's a seed that Satan tried to use at an early age. And,
Jaden Ivey needs help. ESPN, the NBA, the whole Alphabet Mafia crew, they don't want him to get that help.
Your ROI worries. And smarter. Snapchat.
All right, you got to stop buying generic Viagra if y'all over 40. You can get 9 pills of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7 with free shipping on Friday plans. If you think it's a scam like I did at first, keep it. No doc visits, no phone calls, nothing. I just answered a
But have people not figured out, and I'm not suggesting, hey, don't have Stephen A., but has Stephen A. not figured out? You're doing too much. You're trying to be all things to all people. You want to be on every show. You don't have enough substance. You're not interesting enough to be on every show. And I know they're packaging up your highlight clips on Bill Maher, and Bill Maher has probably had you on 6 times, 5 times in the last year. In the last 3 or 4 months, you seem to be his most frequent guest. An idiot sports writer is the most frequent guest on Real Time talking politics with Bill Maher. I get it. It's outreach everywhere. It's Trump-like. Remember, Trump used to be everywhere. You turn on the TV and there's Trump talking at you. That's what Stephen A. is trying to mimic. But the difference is Trump chose a side. Trump drew a line in the sand. Trump had a pair. He had a set of beliefs and values that he believed in and stood on. Stephen A., you don't have that, and that's why you're struggling. Let's play the second part of this clip.
But I have my own studio in New York. I have a studio that if I set it up right, I could fit 100 to 150 people up in there. I have a studio where I can have panel discussions and I can have left versus right, Black conservatives, Black liberals, and everything in between. And all along, while I've been doing this, I'm looking for people to talk to. It's why I talk about somebody like a Royce White. It's why I've interviewed him before. That's a brilliant brother right there, ladies and gentlemen. Running for Senate seat in Minnesota. That's a brilliant brother. I'm here to tell y'all right now, he is no joke. You don't have to agree with everything he says, but trust you me, when he opens his mouth, you're going to know he makes sense. That's why Officer Tater, I've had him on the show, and I'm going to have him on the show again. I respect that brother. They can disagree with me. He's like, come on over, Stephen A., come on over. You know you conservative, just like Answer said, you know you conservative. I disagree with both of them. You don't see me insulting them because of it. It makes perfect sense why they think that, based on some of my positions. I understand what the hell is there to get offended about. Those are my brothers too. What, they ain't Black? They don't care about Black people? Anton Daniels came on this show and said they talking about him, and all he hires is Black people. What are we talking about? And we want to alienate folks that make sense, that's bringing common sense to the equation, that's telling you about the history of the conservatives and the Republican Party compared to the liberals and the Democratic Party. I want to hear what they have to say. I haven't had Roland Martin on the show for a while. He's gone left towards me or whatever. They ain't gonna stop me from loving Roland Martin. I don't want him to fail. I want him successful. And if I can help him be successful, I will. Got nothing against Roland Martin. Brother smart. Smart as hell. Certainly knows more than me. He ain't gonna act like he don't. I see Mark Lamont Hill on Joe Budden's podcast. I've known Mark Lamont Hill for years. Mad respect for that brother. Don't believe in some of his liberal views. I think he's a bit too far left at times, in my opinion. But what you will hear me do is disagree with them. What you will never hear me do is disrespect them and character assassinate them. I will not do that.
Am I right for thinking, and nod your head, am I right for thinking he's saying that Jason Whitlock disrespects me and his character assassinating me, and I'll never do that? I love everybody. That's Stephen A. I have a set of beliefs. Donald Trump has a set of beliefs, but we'll zero it in to me. I have a set of beliefs that I adhere to. It's not personal. You run antithetical to those beliefs. You're secular. You don't have the courage to choose a set of beliefs and to stand on them. You do whatever is popular. You get in front of Candace Owens and you'll say one thing. You get in front of Mark Lamont Hill, you'll say another. This is what you're doing here. I love Mark Lamont Hill. He says things that I disagree with. He's liberal, but I like him. I love Officer Tater. He says things that I disagree with, but I love Pt.2. Shakur. I love Officer Tater. I get it. But
Yeah, Stephen A. like Charlemagne, Dr. Umar, Charlton White. He's a broke clock. They write 2 times a day. They write the broke clock write 2 times a day, but you can't count on it. That's just who Stephen A. is.
I like Officer Tatum too. But, I'm not trying to character assassinate him, but, when he took that check, it's just like, I got to jump ship. This doesn't ring true. You're now the foremost authority on Israeli politics. That doesn't seem authentic. This guy's a former college football player that did videos analyzing police-involved shootings and engagement, and now he's the foremost authority on the Middle East. Doesn't ring true. Don't dislike him, but, I'm not asking everybody to like me. I have a set of beliefs and values that I'm going to stand on. Some people are not going to like him. They're going to be critical of him. What I'm not going to do, and what you do repeatedly, is lie. Because you're afraid of the truth. Because the truth says something. It exposes the fraudulence of what you've done, what you claim to accomplish, where you stand. You're a butt kisser, Stephen. And this is what you just did in this video, trying to please everybody, is why I don't believe any of your stories. I was not to be touched. Everybody in Hollis, Queens knew I was not to be touched. Everything that comes out of your mouth, it just sounds bogus and convenient. Yeah, my boy got his head blew off right next to me at a bar. I dropped 17 straight threes and got a scholarship on the spot.
And I don't know how that went to Stephen A., but anyways.
The way Black Hollywood's been embarrassing us this weekend, I had to come in my bonnet because y'all don't deserve it.
So that was, like I say, you would have to go look at the part 1 of this to understand that whole situation on why I played that video. But let's get into this, and I'm going to go ahead and close after this, after I react to this. This was about the Nick Cannon situation, and he came out and, said how he's a Republican and all of these different things. And of course, you're black, especially a celebrity black, somebody who have influence over other black. You better not say you are a Republican. You better not say you support Trump. So let's get into that. And of course, I'll chime in.
The way Black Hollywood's been embarrassing us this weekend, I had to come in my bonnet because y'all don't deserve me because this is some trash ass mess. Let's start with Chili. So she got exposed for being longtime Trump and MAGA supporter. It first started when someone saw that she had a repost.
Yeah, I remember that situation when Chili liked the post. Or I'm talking about, bro. The black mob is crazy, bro. But anyway, yeah, man. Chili from TLC liked the post or something with Trump, and they went digged and found out she was a supporter with like $20. Like, bruh. And the funny thing is, when you ask these people, you talk to these people, and you say, okay, why you don't like Trump? They tell you some regurgitated lie that they heard on the liberal CNN or one of these platforms that hate Trump because he's going against all of their policies, right? But when you ask them and you say, okay, well, let's say what happened in the first Trump election. I mean, the first Trump presidency. He released 7,500 federal inmates, 91% black. I actually had 2 people that I know that benefited from that. A mother, 2 parents, but a father and a mother, not together, but separate. 2 people I knew. Unemployment was at its lowest ever. Because Trump got major corporations to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in what you call opportunity zone, which is, when you see in the hood is a piece of land and nothing is there. And, company was putting businesses there. And it might have didn't touch your town because if he would have got reelected, he was going to do more. But again, you can go look all these things up. The lowest unemployment, I think, since 1942 was not under Obama, was under Trump. The most homeowners, the most black home ownership happened during Trump. What else? So many things that he did for black people specifically. And if he would have been reelected at that time, at that time we was all mad about it, but everything happened for a reason, because this is the best. Not only is he the best president, this is the best administration ever, hands down from the top to the bottom. Got Mike Pence out of there. We had to get some of these rhinos out. God bless Mike Pence, but I didn't want him a part of this. And but he had something called a platinum plan, and it was strictly for black people. Like I say, you can go look it up. I got all the stuff. I'm not gonna do it right now. But you can go look it up. But go look at the accomplishments. Matter of fact, you don't gotta go dig it up. Go on my page. Go hit the link in my bio. And I got videos on my channel throughout the years of all of the accomplishments he was made, because I voted for Hillary the first time. I was a Democrat, but 2018 I switched lanes and I seen the light, because God showed me the light. But again, yeah, man. And so black people were trained to hate this man. He did more for them than any other president ever did since Abraham Lincoln. Barack Obama did zero. He had the House and the Senate. He did zero. Well, let's continue.
Posted a conspiracy video claiming that Michelle Obama was a man that voted in 1994. That repost feature on Instagram. It's since been unreposted, but it's still on the conspiracy page. People also noticed that she was following MAGA influencers, y'all can possibly name, as well as following multiple Republican-leaning accounts and Republicans like Tommy Loren, Donald Trump Jr., Terrence K. Williams, and Newsmax. But what really did her in was people was able to find public record of her donating to the Trump campaign in 2024. Now, I'm covering the address for privacy purposes, but you can clearly see that she made a $100 donation in October 2024 to the Trump National Committee, JFC Inc. Now, of course, this is fresh off the announcement that TLC, Salt and Pepper, and Vogue are going on tour this fall. And people are like, yeah, no, we ain't buying these tickets. I don't even know if the pre-sales already happened at this point. But the backlash is bad enough that she had to come on Instagram to say that she accidentally shared that post about Michelle Obama, and that any donation she made, it was meant to help veterans. And everyone's calling bullshit on the statement, as am I. We all know good and well Trump would give a damn about the veterans. I know many folks are wondering, what about T-Bus? Was she aligned? She stated publicly that she is anti-MAGA and she does not approve of Chile's political views. She's a heavy advocate for protecting the Affordable Care Act because she is someone that lives with sickle cell. And the big beautiful bill will affect many people who have chronic illnesses. Joseph clarified in an interview when she said, God is my president. And she said, just because you're in a group with somebody that's not me, you think the same. Is this going to affect the tour? I honestly don't know.
Boy. So we got to talk about the black liberal mob upset with black celebrities who have been exposed as Trump supporters, right? Some accidentally exposed, others exposing themselves. And that's what we got to talk about here today. Because if you're black and you're a celebrity, you have some type of platform, you can't openly support Trump or Republicans, or else the mob is going to try to cancel you. Now, the first person I want to talk about here is Nick Cannon. Okay, Nick Cannon called the Democrat Party the party of the KKK. It says that he F's with Trump. Now, he said this in a video with Amber Rose, who now is a Trump supporter as well, too.
So let's stop there right there. I made a video. If you go back on my page, it's funny. I think it go way back to 20. I made it in 2020. I don't know what the title is of the video, but I gave a whole rundown on the whole Democrat situation and how the Democrats started the KKK in 1865. The Democrats started Jim Crow. The Democrat voted against the 13, 14, 15 Amendment. And there was no party switch like people like to say. And the reason why the KKK was created wasn't for race. But what happened was, at that particular time, all blacks were Republican. White people were mixed. So what made it look racist is because the Democrats was the KKK, so they was trying to kill and force everybody to be Democrats. And like I said, at that time, all black people were Republicans, so it seemed like it was racist, but it wasn't a racial thing. It was politics. And so eventually, a lot of black people started switching just for being in fear. But that's when you say party switch. That's the only switch it was, but it wasn't no switch of values because Republicans still stand for the same thing, and the Democrats, I can't even say that they still stand for the same thing. They have went complete loon. They believe they don't know what a woman is. They believe in men can have period. They have just been radicalized over the last since Barack Obama, and so the Democratic Party is just radical loons at this point. But the Republicans, the GOP, the Grand Old Party have been the same, has stayed the same. It's the party of God, it's the party of the Constitution, it's the party of pro-life. That's what it's all about. It's a party of small government, it's a party of capitalism, it's a party of anti-socialism, anti-communism. That's what it's a party of, and it's still that. And Donald Trump really revived that party because what was happening was a lot of the Republicans was beginning to turn into moderate. They was beginning to not be liberal, not be Democrat, but they was just tired of getting beat over the head. But Donald Trump came in with that godly masculine energy, not toxic masculine energy, but godly masculine energy, which leads and has wisdom to lead, and took it over. And it's some guys who's hopefully come behind him, the Jaden Vance, the Marco Rubio, even P. said he got a dream team again, as I said earlier. But like I said, I just wanted to say that, but just to clear up that situation there. And you can do your research on these things. Don't listen to what I'm saying.
Okay, and I want to go ahead and play this clip because, of course, liberals are, losing their minds over Nick Cannon claiming that the Democrat Party is the party of the KKK, which, hey, I personally find to be pretty accurate, to be honest with you, considering, generally speaking, how they treat black folks. And also on top of that, wasn't their president, right, the last president, didn't he give a eulogy for a member of the Klan, right? Old Jim Crow Joe, right? Joe Biden. So I'm just saying, to me, I think what he's saying is pretty accurate here, but obviously people have issues with Nick Cannon and what he said. Take a look.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal. I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother, you up there with the elite now?
Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people. And they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. People don't know that the Democrats
And, Amber Rose, man, she was a former liberal. She was out of her mind, slut walk and all of this and all of that. Man, Amber Rose has really turned over a new leaf over the last couple of years, and I'm proud of her. Good for Amber, man.
Party of the KKK.
Yeah.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I don't subscribe to either party. I rock with W.E. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen. I'm not married to any party.
Right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us. And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Well, but cleaning house.
But
you know what he said he was
guess what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah. We got the Gulf of America now. Charging,
Hearing you heard a point.
$5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
Listen, but guess what?
Yeah. So you see, now you heard that. Now, I don't know about the W.E.B. Du Bois comment, right? I don't subscribe to radical black socialists, okay? So I think that everything else that Nick Cannon said, I was okay with outside of that, right? Outside of that W.E.B. Du Bois comment. Not a big fan of that guy, right? But generally speaking, hey, Nick Cannon is one of these black celebrities that he says he rocks with Trump, right? That, he has some conservative viewpoints. Nothing wrong with that.
not a big fan of the Democrat Party, right? Again, I'm not entirely sure what's so controversial. Now, again, we're going to play the backlash. I'm going to get into backlash, but I want to talk about this other celebrity because this is all kind of related, right? All the backlash is going in that direction here. This other celebrity, TLC member, Chili, was caught donating to Trump campaign record show. So they're saying that Chili, whose real name is Rosanda Thomas of Stone Mountain, Georgia, she donated about $1,000 to Republican-backed campaign stuff in 2024, right? And also on top of that, she faced backlash for saying that All Lives Matter in 2017, right? In an interview when asked about her feelings on Black Lives Matter. So now, with her essentially donating to Trump and then the All Lives Matter thing, of course, the woke revolutionary is upset. Right? They're saying that she's a Trump supporter, right? She's a Trumper, and that they're going to cancel her concert tickets, right? They're going to not go to her concert. They're going to try to cancel her for, having a political opinion that they disagree with. Now, again, this news kind of came out at the same time with Nick Cannon, so both of them are getting backlash from the woke revolutionaries at the same time. Take a look.
Who was going to tell me? Who was going to? Chili? I gotta stop scrolling on Twitter because why did I come across an article that says Chili donated to Trump? Y'all, and they pulled up the receipts, and she even donated to Ted Cruz. Like, the signs were there, because if you go to her Instagram, she's religious, overly religious, very religious. But the super religious to MAGA pipeline, Chili! Oh, my God. Did y'all notice? Am I late to the party? Like, can we talk in the comments? Because Chili...
Y'all, I was about to get me a ticket to the TLC Salt and Pepper Info concert. Tell me why, y'all. They on here saying that TLC, yes, Rosanda. Your name Rosanda now. They saying Rosanda all time. She was donating to that man's campaign, y'all. When I tell y'all the receipts are deep, like it's so deep. Like, girl, see, they just gonna have to replace you. They're gonna have to replace you with Keke Palmer. Y'all remember when Keke Palmer played her in that movie? They gonna have to replace her or something because I wanted to see Salt and Pepper in Info. Like, if I go to the concert, TLC might have to be, a bathroom break or something, and that's a shame because I want to see Tion. I want to see T-Boz. Like, girl, they're gonna have to call TV promo or something. They on here saying that, Chili been weird, but keep in mind, I wasn't tapped into her like that. Okay, like I really wasn't a follower of hers. Like I only wanted to go to the concert because of nostalgia. I was out here chasing waterfalls. I ain't like Scrub back then, and I don't like them today. So that's why I wanted to see, get my little at home time.
Nick Cannon, shut your bitch ass up. You scared you're gonna go broke with the rich. The rich is gonna go broke. Talking about you have distaste for the Democratic Party. Shut your bitch ass up. And Chili, I know left eye rolling in her grave right now. She will whoop your ass.
Because that woman, just say anything.
Driving show, never heard of it. And they were talking politics. And he said to Amber Rose that he agreed with her on her views. She's just more vocal about it. And said that people don't know that the Democrat is the party of the KKK. And said that people don't know that Republicans are the party that freed the slaves. Okay, that's fine. But do you also know the fact that, yes, Democrats did start it, but Republicans were so happy to take the torch? You literally have like 12 kids by 6 of them different women and can't even remember their names or their birthdays. I can't even take you serious. You had a whole podcast at Howard University, but yet you didn't even take the time out to actually learn.
Boy, people something else when you don't go with it. Now they try
over because Republicans was actively against civil rights. Did you know that? It's just hilarious how people always.
Hold on, what she said? If we go back, hold on. I can.
It's a campaign at Howard University, but yet you didn't even take the time out to actually learn something. Did you know the majority of Black people did switch over because Republicans was actively against civil rights? Did you?
That's a lie. But everybody was against civil rights because civil rights was a communist socialist movement. That's not what the Republican Party is about. The civil rights movement was a big mistake. Click the link in my bio on why I say that. Black people are doing way better before civil rights. But let's continue.
Now that it's just hilarious how people always leave that part out. They become Republicans and campaign against segregation and civil rights. If you're going to speak on something, speak on it all the way.
It's really disappointing watching Nick Cannon and Chili from TLC go the whole basically Republican Trump route. But then again, if there's a group of people that are 1,000,000% gonna let you down, it's rich Black people. They always going to choose the money over their own people and culture any day because they don't want to lose what they got. It's sad, but when they cry out for help, we just gonna sit back and watch because you chose to sold out your own people for what? For a group of people that don't give a damn about you? Okay, have it your way.
At this point, I can't even cancel my tickets because In Vogue is going to be there, even though I should. I should have known. I should have known you was one of them. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was definitely giving Stacey Dash. And mind you, I already bought the tickets before I found out about this story, so I'm even more infuriated. Now, shout out to the Midas Touch because they just published this story, and my mind is completely blown. Not at the fact that she's an actual supporter of his, but the things that she was posting in support of him. Now, in this Midas Touch article, they go on to show that she had been donating to the Trump campaign, small dollar donation amounts, but nonetheless, she's giving money to that man. And then I believe the Midas Touch did a bit of a deeper dive. They're like, who exactly is she following? Look at the Newsmax is crazy. Tommy Lauren is even crazier. But what's even more gross and disgusting about Chili's support of this movement is the stuff that they found in her repost. Now, Chili had reposted this conspiracy theory video seen here of them trying to equate Michelle Obama to being born a male. Now, she since unreposted it, like taking it out of her recent repost, but it was right there and everybody could see it. And because of that repost,
Michelle Obama is the only woman in the whole wide world who doesn't have any pregnancy photos. Nobody can find it. I digress.
About Michelle Obama and that just fake, disgusting nonsense, especially coming from another Black woman. The fact that you will repost that is even sick. But that repost basically brought the Midas Touch down this rabbit hole. Like, well, what side is she really on? This side. This the side. I'm so mad. I didn't just bought my tickets. And I literally just rewatched their iHeartRadio performance with In Vogue and Salt and Pepper. I can't believe her. And I should have bought that ticket refund protection. I didn't think there was a reason to. But now I kind of wish I did.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Par for the course from the mob, right? Discovering that some Black celebrity does not align with your political viewpoints, and they try to cancel that person, punish that person for being MAGA, right? For supporting Trump. And Chili here seems to be groveling to the mob, right? She is posting this video claiming that her repost alleging that Michelle Obama is a man was an accident and that her only political donations were to veterans. So let's listen to Chili do what most Black celebrities do when they get discovered as Trump supporters, right? Let's listen to her try to please the mob here.
Guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down And, you know, I would never post anything like that. I would never do something like that. That is not my character. I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs, voted twice for him, and supported the organization that Michelle had in the schools for exercise for the kids. I would never do anything that's harmful or hateful to anybody. You know, I'm just not wired like that. That's just not who I am. And when it comes to organizations that I have donated to, these are the things that support the veterans. You know, I have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new. So I just wanted to let you guys know, you know, this from me, you know, that I would never do anything so disrespectful, and I would just never, I'm just not about hate or anything like that. You know, if you look on my page and see my posts, it's all about love, faith, and connection. That's what I'm all about, you know, and I've always been that way, and I will continue to be just that way. So I just want to thank you guys for, you know, your love and your support, and just taking the time to listen to me right now. I really, really appreciate that. And I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Pathetic. Right? Pathetic. Okay. Basically she's saying that she's not MAGA, right? I accidentally reposted the Michelle Obama is a man meme, right? I accidentally reposted that. I accidentally follow all of these conservative accounts, right? I accidentally donated to Trump. I accidentally said all lives matter. You know, again, I just find it to be very, very, very disappointing in 2026 when you have these Black celebrities getting punked into groveling to the mob, because the mob does not care, right? They don't care about the groveling. They already have decided that, hey, you're MAGA and we're going to cancel you anyways. So I don't really understand the purpose of what she's doing here.
Okay, so on Black MAGA Saturday, Chili responds to the allegations.
I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs.
She's like, I would never, ever do that. Repost of hate. I don't know how, I must have accidentally pressed the thumb. So who knows? Who knows? She's Gen X. She's not that old. Michelle Obama is round, but the earth is not flat. Maybe she said she wasn't that computer savvy, but then she also said her thumb. So she was on her phone. And then she said the donations were for the veterans. Everybody's like, it's a lot of ways you can donate to the veterans. So sounds like one of those one issue excuses to vote for elitism. So nobody believes Chili. She tried, but it didn't quite hit. So it's so alarming. What's alarming is the ticket sales going down. That's what's alarming.
So last night, Chili apologized. She said she is not MAGA. She does not support anything that's policy, these campaigns, nothing that harms people in this country. She also stated that she made the mistake like everybody does, and she reposted something without actually reading it fully through. I want to believe her. I do. But Hollywood Unlocked discovered this payment from Chili. In October 2024, she donated $100 allegedly to the Trump campaign. Now, I'm just curious of who you voted for. If you donated to the campaign and you knew how this man was running in 2024, who'd you vote for? No. Who did you vote for, Chili? In 2017, you said all lives matter, and that was the time Trump was president. That was the time where George Floyd was unalive. That was during the Black Lives Matter movement when you said all lives matter because everybody comes together. Girl, it's given suspect. On top of that, you don't like being called chocolate. You're caramel. Okay? Oh, okay. I'm just saying, Chili, you gonna have to clear it up a little bit more for me. I want to believe you. When everybody's saying, oh, she dated Usher and Mayweather, I'm sorry, I'm not giving Mayweather a pass on this shit. Usher cheated on her, so that gives her more reason to just say fuck black folks. I want to believe her, but I'm just not there yet. I need to know who you voted for, sis.
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that. Again, I find it to be pathetic when these black celebrities get pumped into giving these groveling explanations and apologies to a mob who doesn't care. At the end of the day, they're going to cancel you regardless. You've been caught, right? You've been exposed as a Trump supporter. Stand on it, right? Stand on it. You should come out here and stand 10 toes down that you're a Trump supporter. I supported him. I donated to him. All lives matter. I don't care, right? Say what you want. Say what you feel about Michelle Obama with your chest, right? Say it with your chest, okay? I respect that. What I don't respect is getting caught and then trying to pretend that, I'm not MAGA. Oh, I don't support Trump. And it's like, nah, I think you do, right? And that's okay. It's okay. They're going to cancel you anyways. You've already been caught, right? You might as well stand on it. To be honest with you. But I get it. I get what she's doing. I mean, I think a majority of her fan base, is black. So when you have a largely black fan base and a lot of black people are, irrationally Democrat voters, anti-Trump, I kind of get it, right? I get why she's trying to backtrack and say, oh, I don't really support Trump, yada, yada, yada. I understand it, but I'm just saying that you've already been caught. You might as well stand on it, right? They're going to cancel you regardless, okay? And them canceling you says more about them than it says about you, to be honest with you. Because, I don't believe that, her political opinion should be important. When you talk about, going to her concert and all that, I don't think that she's all that vocal about her political opinions. But, hey, this is the time that we live in, right? I just feel like in 2026, it's okay to be a black person, a black celebrity, and to support Trump. I think she should just stand on it instead of, groveling to the mob, right? When they're going to cancel her regardless. Okay, so we're going to see. Maybe Nick Cannon will walk back what he said. I don't think he's going to walk back what he said. But, I would like to see these celebrities stop running away from their support of Trump. And at the end of the day, just embrace it for what it is, right? But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share the Black Conservative Perspective. Peace.
And that's it, man. I'll see y'all Wednesday in my next live stream. Tomorrow we're going to do the BodyCam thing, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I thank y'all for coming out. And God bless, man. I'll see y'all Wednesday, dude.
I could have been stopped doing this shit. Only reason I do this shit because the real niggas asked me to. A fake nigga couldn't relate to me. Top gunners, check me out. Only us, check me out. Strap her with a kilo, check me out. Put her on the bus, check me out. Stand up nigga, check me out. Always 100, check me out. You can bring the work back, check me out. If you don't want it, check me out. See, mama love me, that's my baby, but papa left me. Yeah, he left me. I put a bitch on timeout if she upset me. That's a fact. Fuck with me, you won't regret me. Still on the mind of every hoe trying to forget me. I get them dance across the border. Your man don't